Now is an awesome time to be a Drupal developer. Over the last several years, demand for Drupal experts has exploded, meaning that even those with minimal experience end up getting amazing jobs and working on really interesting projects. There's been a cost, though, to committing yourself to learning Drupal, which is that a lot of what you learn isn't very applicable in other projects outside of Drupal. For example, where nearly all modern web applications use object-oriented programming, Drupal has made a point of staying away from it. And lots of other systems that we use in Drupal aren't found anywhere else. The market tells us that there's still a ton of value in diving into Drupal, but as developers, we tend to want to learn tools that are flexible and allow us to grow. And learning Drupal just because there's plenty of job opportunities tends to rub some of us the wrong way. Luckily, the community of developers behind Drupal 8 have worked really hard to break out of the Drupal mold for a variety of reasons. Lots of Drupal-specific components have been ripped out and replaced by standard libraries. For example, you might have heard of the Symfony framework, which Drupal 8 now leverages to do tasks like route URLs to the code that provides the output for those URLs. Also in Drupal 8, we adopt a number of standards used broadly in the PHP community so that it becomes much easier both for experienced PHP developers to plug into Drupal and for Drupal developers to find their way around other projects. It's really through this adoption of established standards and libraries that makes what you learn in Drupal 8 far more portable. But it can also feel a bit overwhelming. If you're not used to working with object-oriented programming, the structure of the new code is going to seem foreign and uninviting at first. And there will be a technical learning curve, even if you are an expert at earlier versions of Drupal. But keep in mind that the curve is now not just Drupal's learning curve, but is also, in a large part, the learning curve that leads to becoming a better, more modern programmer. Now, all this stuff about object-oriented programming, third-party libraries, and standards aside, you'll still be able to do a lot with Drupal 8 to leverage your experience with earlier versions of Drupal. For example, the way that hooks work is very much the same, which means that the adjustments that you need to make to forms, pages, and other components can still be done without learning a bunch of new systems. In fact, for many Drupal developers who work solely within hooks to make these adjustments, there may be very little you have to learn to really get what you need done. If you're like many of us who have managed to get by learning some PHP here and there, then I'm really excited for you. If you take the leap to truly understand and use Drupal 8, you'll become a more competent programmer, and many new possibilities will open up for you. Lots of hobbyist developers feel like they love the opportunity to learn the right way to do things, how to organize code, how to make code reusable, how to build projects that really scale. Now, you have the opportunity to learn those things while still deepening your knowledge and expertise in Drupal. So this is going to be a lot of fun, and we're about to dive in, but I wanted to talk about just a couple other things first.